Hello, everybody. Darren Cross here. Welcome to Business 400 Driving Business Opportunity, Module 1. This is the Module 1 announcement video. It's very, very important. For every module, we're going to have a video just like this where we're talking about what we're going over so that you kind of can focus in on the topics that we're trying to pick up on. That's going to help you as you complete your assignments. This module is particularly important because what we're trying to do is we're actually laying the foundation for the rest of the course. So the learning objectives for Module 1 are to suggest a product or service that's appropriate for a given company's available resources and capabilities. So you're actually just kind of learning about what companies actually go through when they're trying to determine what they're going to offer to the market, right? So you're going to select a product or service that is attuned to or aligned with a company. We're going to determine the company's current value position in the market, and we're going to apply the blue ocean strategy to discover opportunities. Now, the thing to understand is that what we're doing here is we're laying the foundation for the entire course, and the foundation for the entire course is blue ocean strategy. So what does that mean? Every time I've taught this course here at SNU, people are coming up with ideas that they've had for products or services inside of their head, all of their life or for some years or something like that. And when I consult businesses, the first thing that I say is, if it's a new startup, I say, okay, so what sets your company apart? Why are you thinking that you should do this as a business? Because the truth of the matter is, people might have a passion for something, but that doesn't mean that they would be good at actually creating a business for that. And a lot of times it's just some kind of a twist on the product or a product that they have, or combining things or something like that. And really, that's not what Blue Ocean is about. Blue Ocean strategy is about creating an entirely new market. And so when you look at what they're really saying here, when you read the book, they talk about a red ocean is that red ocean where there's a bunch of ferocious sharks, your competition, who are going to eat everybody alive and leave nothing but a bloody red ocean, right? And in a blue ocean, it's like there's no competition around, so we're free to compete and do whatever we want. This is extremely challenging. We'll talk about some examples of this. This is extremely challenging, but this is the way that companies set themselves way apart from everybody else. And that ultimately is what we're after. In the world of traditional strategy, what we're saying is, okay, we're going to do everything that everybody else does, but we're going to figure out how we're going to do it differently, or what our competitive advantage is. In a blue ocean strategy, we're saying we don't even really care about them because we're going to change the way that everybody looks at this market, this problem, whatever it might be. So let's talk about some specific differences. In a red ocean strategy, or with a red ocean strategy, we compete in the existing marketplace with the existing competition. Whereas in a blue ocean strategy, we're creating an uncontested market space. So in our minds, what we're doing is we're actually creating something that no one else was thinking about. And they're like, holy crap, I don't know what to do, because they're out there doing something way different than what we're doing. Okay. In a red ocean strategy, our goal is to beat the competition. With a blue ocean strategy, what we're trying to do is render the competition irrelevant. We don't care about them because we're the only ones doing what we're doing, or in the way that we're doing it, right? With a red ocean strategy, we exploit existing demand. So we are in this existing piece of pie, and we are saying, how much of that pie can I have? The goal of a blue ocean strategy is to say, we're not even looking at that pie. We have a whole new pie. We're looking at this thing completely differently. So we're looking at new demand. We're trying to create new demand. And that's going to be important as you go through and start to think about some of the products or services that you might be trying to create. Because then what happens is, if you're thinking, man, there's already a demand for this, traditionally that's what we're doing. Is there already a demand that we can tap into? That's a shortcut. But what we're trying to say is, we think that based upon the way that people conceptualize a specific problem, that there would be additional demand. And so that's the kind of thing that we have to be thinking about as we go forward. With the red ocean strategy, we make the value cost trade-off, right? With a blue ocean strategy, we break the value cost trade-off. So when we think about the value equation, there's always this thing where we're looking at how much money I'm willing to pay for a particular service. And we'll talk about that a little bit later when we're talking about the value equation. Or it really is about, okay, this is the benefit I'm getting. How much am I willing to pay? And this is ingrained in all of us, but it's kind of not really set in stone, but it's kind of just already developed when you have an existing market. Because if I tell you, hey, I'm going to sell you a laptop computer for $20,000, in your mind, you're thinking, I would not buy a laptop computer for $20,000 because I can get a laptop computer for $800. So that happens when you're existing in a red ocean. In the mind of the consumer, you're saying, okay, it has to be something really amazing to actually want to charge that much. So in a blue ocean strategy, what we're saying is, yeah, it is that amazing. And so we're really driving that value so that you understand, man, I gotta have this. Even though it may be more expensive, it may not, but it may. The idea though is that people are focused on the value because they've reimagined what that value even looks like. Um, with the red ocean strategy, we align the whole system of a firm's activities with its strategic choice of differentiation or low cost. So traditionally, if you take another strategy class, and this is key language in the world of strategy, and we actually are going to talk about it in a couple of modules. What typically happens is that people are competing on the basis of differentiation. In other words, you should buy my product because it's different from everybody else. It's better in this way. But not everybody competes that way. Some people say you should buy my product because it costs less. And we'll delve in a little bit more on that when we're talking about value propositions as well. In a blue ocean strategy, we align the whole system of a firm's activities in pursuit of differentiation and low cost. So we're trying to make it better and we're trying to make it cost less. And the idea here is that's really driving the perception of value. So what are we really saying here? In a blue ocean strategy, what we're trying to do is we're trying to become the market creator and not the market competitor. We really want to eliminate the competition if we can, and we're trying to actually become the market creator. Now, when we think about this, there have been some companies that have done this. Think about the iPhone. Some of you who are around my age, I didn't have a cell phone in high school. There were there were mobile phones in cars. I went to school in the 80s. I went to high school in the 80s. And so not everybody walked around with a cell phone. When you went to the mall, you just had to trust that your friend was at the mall. If not, you'd go to a payphone and call their house and ask their parents if they left yet, right? We did not have cell phones. And then we started to have cell phones. They were pretty prominent in the early 90s and 90s. Everybody had a cell phone. It was, started pretty big, and then it was, it was a phone. You could play one little game on it, Snake or whatever it is, but you could call people, and that was the important part. And then we also had PDAs, little handheld personal assistants. And Apple said, why don't we do something different here? Why don't we combine these, and now people don't have to carry around a bunch of things? Nobody was really thinking to do that. Nobody was really thinking to combine all of these things inside of a phone. Nobody was thinking, I am talking on the phone, but I also would like to take a picture with this thing. And when you think about what that has really done, we're walking around with a computer in our pockets all the time, and it has pushed billions and billions of dollars of industry. Think about Instagram and all social media. Now we can post something just by pushing a button. We're eating dinner. We're at an amusement park. We're looking at a fireworks display. We see a cute puppy. That was not something that people were doing a long time ago. The way that Apple actually innovated this communication device that we have changed everything. It changed the way we even looked at it. You wouldn't even leave the house without your cell phone, right? I did it all the time when I was in high school. So they innovated. They created an entirely new market where people have access to content, right? They actually went from Apple was a computer company, and then they started saying, okay, well, let's provide some music with the iPod. And then they started thinking, there's content out there. Let's have these computers, and then we'll start to connect. And there's all kinds of things that you could do. You think about Nintendo. I think I'll send you a link that talks about the journey that Nintendo has had. When I was a kid, Nintendo was a console just like Atari or ColecoVision or something else. This is before the days of everything that we can see now. And then um, they realized I'm just doing everything that everybody else can do. And so it just becomes a matter of, are my games better than the other consoles' games? But then if people wanted to play your games and theirs, it was just like I would just get both of them, and that's that. So then they came out with the Wii, which was super cool because now it was interactive and you can do a lot of different things with it, right? You can play golf, you can play tennis. It was a really cool concept. They changed the game. They said instead of just sitting there, you can actually move around, and now we see that some other companies and devices are doing that kind of thing, and that kind of hurt them as well. So they were doing well once they introduced the Wii, and then they other companies were doing similar things, and they wanted to have their little device that you could play a game with. Other companies were doing that as well, and so then they came out with the Nintendo Switch with that interactive capability or interchangeable capability. They were completely rethinking the way that people were looking at video games and interaction and all of this stuff with online capabilities. And now you look at what Facebook is doing with all of their metaverse and all of this. It's really quite remarkable, and it's completely different from what anybody was even thinking about. That's what we're after here. We're thinking differently, and that's a key component to Blue Ocean strategy. You have to think differently. What are we really saying? We're thinking differently about the value proposition, and we're thinking about innovation. And what is innovation really about? Innovation is about, hey, I'm looking at this problem in a way that nobody else is looking at this problem. And really, our ultimate goal is to actually disrupt the market. Now, there are other ways to innovate, and I will provide you some links to talk about all of these things so that you can familiarize yourself. But one of the key things that you're going to focus on in this course is the value proposition. And I want to hold your face here and I want to say, hey, look at my eyes. The value proposition is super, super important because it's going to be a continuing theme throughout this course. So, what I want you to do is get it right now. Let's focus in on it and get it right. I'm telling you what this is about. Almost every session, there's that most students are just out there trying to use the words and trying to figure out what it means, and they're talking about, well, this is valuable for the company. Value proposition is not at all about what the company values at all. Their value proposition is actually, the definition is right there. It is a succinct. This is my definition, honed in from years and years of teaching, coaching, and consulting. It's a succinct statement of the unique way in which your product or service proposes. See, here's the definition: proposes to provide value to its target market. So what you're saying is, hey, everybody's out there trying to solve their problems. Here is what we propose to address your problem. And the way that you're going to win is by doing that in a unique fashion. So, what we're looking for when you were doing your value proposition in module 1 all the way through to module 8, I think module 7 is the last time we're talking about the value proposition, is for you to settle in on that succinct statement. It's a statement. It's not a bunch of bullet points. It's a statement. The reason why this is important is because it flows through to your marketing message. What you're really saying here is, I'm solving your problem in a unique way that nobody else is solving it. So when we're talking about a value proposition, a couple of things have to be true here. First of all, your value proposition must very first and foremost solve the problem that the target market is seeking to solve. And it's not about whether you think this is cool or not. This is about whether that target market is getting their problem solved. This is the essence of commerce. I'm a person and I have my concept of myself. And so I feel like I need certain things. And because of that, I'm constantly looking to see if I have those things. If I don't have those things, I go out and seek to purchase those things. And when I make decisions on purchasing, I need to, um, first and foremost, get that problem solved. If I need transportation to get back and forth to work, the first thing I need, I'm going to go look for a car. The first thing I need is to make sure that car actually gets me back and forth to work, right? If I'm trying to buy a computer for school, I need to make sure that I can get online. Uh, I have the capability to get online. Maybe I need the Microsoft suite so that I can do my papers and things like that. Maybe I don't need that because the school provides it. But whatever it is, I have a problem. People go out and buy things because we have a problem. It's not necessarily, it doesn't mean that my life sucks. It just means I have a problem. Maybe my problem is I want to watch the Super Bowl on Sunday and I don't have the proper TV. So I'm going out to solve that problem. That's what commerce is all about. So companies seek to solve the problems that consumers are having. Your product or service is actually going to endeavor to solve the problem of your target market. That's the first thing that it has to do. But then your value proposition should also describe the benefits that your product offers over the competition. And it is a cop out to say, I offer this and they don't. They can easily offer it. Most companies can easily offer it. If you say, I want to offer a nutritious soft drink, I'm Pepsi, I want to offer a nutritious soft drink. Nobody else is doing this. Okay, do you think Coke doesn't have the wherewithal to offer a nutritious soft drink? So it's not about that. It's about looking at the extra thing that you do that actually solves that problem. What are some benefits? These are examples of benefits that consumers might see as a result of your product or service. It could be a lower cost. It could be that you provide convenience in some way. It could be that you provide access to something that other products don't offer. It could be that your product is more durable because of some technology that you put into place. It could be that it's faster, or that it has higher quality, or that it provides exclusivity for you. So you're in a small circle or club whenever you actually pursue this product or service. But the first thing is that it solves the problem. I'm getting my problem solved, but then also I have the added benefit of one of these things. And this isn't an exhaustive list. These are the types of things that we're really looking at, but these are the things that I want you to be honing in on. And so the thing that we have to understand about these benefits is that you are targeting it towards a specific target market. So those benefits that we talk, low cost, high quality, all of that stuff, those have to be things that your target market actually values. If they don't, then you're not really providing value. And I'll tell you this: most people think um, that every consumer just wants a lower priced something. In general, that might be true if the benefits are exactly the same. But in reality, that's not always true. In fact, most of the time it isn't. Sometimes people often buy the more expensive things. It's because of their perception of price versus benefit. And so this is what people are going through all of the time when they're trying to figure out what the value equation is for a particular. You look at price and then you look at benefit. We're always looking at, are we going to pay more for something or less, and are there more benefits or less? Right. So this is what people are thinking with a more for more value proposition. What we're saying is, yes, the cost for this thing is more expensive, but you're getting way more benefits. BMW, Mercedes, right? Whereas on the other end, less for much less. Yes, you're getting less, but this costs much less. This is a cheap Option. This is you getting that thing that you need. It's solving the problem. There is a section of the target market that actually just wants to solve the problem. That's all they care about, right? You get more for the same, or you pay more for the same. So, or no, that's not what I'm saying. You pay the same price for more. It would be dumb to get more to pay more for the same service, right? So you are getting more benefit for the same price. So this is how you would want to craft your message. You got to think about how your proposition is really sitting. Are you providing more benefits for the same price as others? So if people are looking at other companies that endeavor to solve that problem, are you at the same price, but you actually provide a little bit more? That's the value that you represent to them. And so this is how you're going to conceptualize this. More for less. So you actually have more benefits for less. This is an extreme value. So you're saying, hey, not only do we do this, not only do we do this, not only do we do this, it's more than what you can get with any other of the people endeavoring to solve this problem. But in addition to that, it costs less. That's your value, right? The same for less. So the benefits are the same. This is exactly the same as what you can get anything else. The only difference is that we're less expensive. So these are things that these are how people are going to conceptualize the benefits that you actually endeavor to offer. Okay. And so what you're trying to do, like I said, is come up with that succinct statement. So what I want to do is give you this value proposition template, and I've repeated this in the paper so that you can understand and craft it right there when you're doing your paper. So what you're going to say is that your product helps your target market to solve their problem. So you'll say, the Deluxo Max 5000 helps health conscious consumers to um, actually get in shape or lose weight or whatever they're trying to do. Then you're going to say other companies such as Weight Watchers or Nutrisystem address this problem, but then you're going to talk about why they have a problem, but they always have a subscription service, or they always have products. They always have you eating this food that doesn't taste good or whatever it might be. What the Deluxo Max 5000 does is blah, 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 describe how it does it, which results in quicker weight loss for the consumer, right? So this is, you have to fit it in to work for whatever your product is. But what you're really saying is, hey, we have this product that helps consumers, specific consumers. You're going to learn as we go through here what we're after is you want to target in specifically. And when we go into the assignment, we're going to talk about what you're really after there, okay? But you're going to go in specifically and target a market. And so you're saying my product helps this target market to solve this problem. So this is what they're after. Other companies do this as well. But the thing is, what they do offers this thing that is not what we do. What we do instead is describe the way that you do it. And what that results in is that they get, not only do they get their problem solved, but they also get the added benefit of this. And we're going to craft this. We're going to hone this. It'd be nice if you can get it in the first module, because then going through every time you see value proposition, copy this, paste it, and you're done. Okay, so just hone in on this. If you have questions, by all means, reach out to me and I can help you kind of craft this. All right. So let's talk about your assignments for Module 1. First thing you're going to do is the discussion board assignment. That's pretty straightforward. You're going to introduce yourself, okay? All you're going to do when you introduce yourself is follow the prompts, all right? So you're going to talk about who you are, what your goals are, what your professional identity is, and that's easy peasy. Then you're going to go to the 1.2 blog assignment. And even though this says it's a blog assignment, you're going to turn this in the form of a Word doc. Now, remember what I said in the introductory video to the course. No matter what, when you have these assignments, I want you to use my template. My template is going to get you super focused in on what we're trying to do, and it's already formatted properly, and it's going to give you extra instructions on what to do. And what you need to do is simply download that template, take out the stuff that definitely just replace the stuff in red. Use the grayed out things that I'm giving you, the guidelines and instructions. I'm telling you how you're going to address each of those things. And then put your stuff in there. Keep the same format. Don't mess with any titles. Don't mess with any headings. Don't add any logos. Don't make anything fancy. You want to keep everything looking exactly the same. The only thing that you'll add that I don't have are any citations that you might have, or if you're supposed to insert some things. We'll talk about that when we get to the assignment video. But if you're to insert some things, then you put those things in there. But don't make any structural changes to the template. Okay, use it exactly the way it is, and I will reiterate that when we're going over the assignment video. Which reminds me, the next thing that you need to do is to watch the assignment video. So in this module, you'll see another video that is an assignment video. It's a screen capture video of me going through the paper, telling you how to address each element of the prompt. Okay? If you follow that, I cannot see how you fail. All you have to do is just listen to what I'm saying and go through, talk about what I'm saying to talk about, and don't talk about anything that I'm not saying to talk about. All right? That's just going to get you off focus. All right, so make sure that you use that template and watch that video. Now, here's what we're trying to do. In order to be successful in this course, you need to get started off on the right foot. And a lot of people, I've experienced in the past, a lot of people get started off by not choosing the right product. So you have to choose the right product. And I've tried different approaches of this. I've said, hey, I send it back with a temporary zero saying, let's readdress this. We can talk about it. And that really kind of freaked people out. Listen, it's going to be better for you to select the right product in the beginning. And so what I am going to do is I'm giving you the criteria so that you can select the right type of product. But then after that, if you do not select the right type of product, I'm going to give you a temporary zero, and I'm going to send it back saying, hey, this isn't innovative. You need to think about the product. But if you listen to what I'm saying right here, you can eliminate that. Okay. So here's the thing: your new product or service has to meet the following criteria. Well, let's first talk about the actual prompt. Hold on. Sorry. Actually, I can't see it here, but so here's what the prompt is. You are the chief innovation officer at a company, and your goal is it says that your goal is to make improvements on a product or introduce a new product or service. And then it says, for the purposes of this paper and this course, you are going to do the latter. So you are introducing a new product or service. We are not improving anything. We're introducing a new product or service. In addition to that, you're introducing a new product or service, and that new product or service has to be something that solves your target market's problem, but also they have to be willing to pay for it. In other words, it's something that would represent a good value. So you have to hone in on that. So follow these guidelines. Number one, it must be a new product or service. It cannot be an improvement on a product or service. It cannot be introducing your existing products to a new market. So we're not going to say we offer this in the United States. We're going to offer it in India. That's not innovative. All you're saying is, okay, we have this thing, now we're going to offer it in the same way. That's not innovative. What we're doing is we're saying, you know what? There's a problem out there that companies are attempting to solve, but nobody has nailed this yet. And we have invented a new thing or a new service that actually solves a problem. So this is a new product or service. Now, another thing to note, I don't want to hear something that your company is actually already doing. So in the background, what you're going to do is you're going to select the company, and you are the chief innovation officer for that company, and then you're going to propose introducing a new product to that company or through that company. The reason why you're selecting a company is so that you can have the background information to actually make a decision here. So you're not a startup on your own. You are Apple, Walmart, whatever it might be, okay? But the thing to understand here is I don't want to hear anything about what they're already doing. I don't want to hear anything that is essentially the same thing. So, in the past, I've had people say, Ford is introducing a new engine that gets better gas mileage. Well, what is it that is innovative about that? Going from a gas engine to an electrical engine, okay, or electrical motor, okay, that's interesting, right? Because now it makes it's a whole different way of thinking about how people look at this problem, right? But that is essentially an improvement on a product. That's not what we want. I want you to think that I have a magic wand and I've created something. All right, and it doesn't necessarily have to be extremely feasible. Is not the right word. I want you to use your imagination. Okay, it can be things that seem amazing. The key is that you're going to look for the value in that. A lot of things that work are apps, apps that actually curate something. What I've seen in the past that were successful, apps like um, an app that monitors your health system and automatically curates monitors your biometrics or your entire biological system and curates different vitamins and minerals that you might need on a week to week basis. So it's like, okay, it curates the dosages and things like that you might need on the basis of monitoring things. It could be that you have, something that don't use automation of your house because you already know that Google and Amazon and Apple, they're already automating a bunch of stuff. So doing that kind of thing is not really saying anything remarkable. But what if there was something that could change the way that automation shows up in the lives of people, right? So what if there was something that monitored what people were thinking about? This is sounding crazy, but that's what I want you to do. I want you to sound low key crazy when it comes to introducing this product. I want you to be thinking about how you go through life, and your deal is, man, I really wish that there was a something that could help me with this, right? Technology is probably the easiest way. You want to look for the way that your company can do something different that other companies are not able to do. But you have to have a new product or service, and it has to be something that you come up with and not anything that the company is coming up with. It's not we are offering a new product. It's not we are improving the way that we're delivering this product. It's not that we're combining two things. We're not going to have, we are now doing movie theaters and gas stations. And think about that, this is a way to have convenience. No, because every gas station can offer a movie theater and every movie theater can offer a gas station. And now you're back in bloody waters. You want to invent a new product or service that nobody else is thinking about. This is your chance to be imaginative. I know it's tough for some people. It's tough for me. But the thing is, just go through, and as long as it meets that criteria, I think that you'll be good. It must stand alone as a revenue source. So when I was talking about an app earlier, that an app in and of itself isn't going to do good if what you're doing is you're offering something for free. It has to be an app that you're actually charging for, because you're going to go into some numbers and you're actually going to project increased revenue. And the problem that some people get into, one student in the past said, we're having a biodegradable um, uh, packaging for products. So this company is going to offer biodegradable packaging for products. So it just dissolves and you don't have to do anything. It reduces trash. Okay, but you're not selling. I mean, you already have the product. So you're saying I'm going to package the product differently. Nobody's going to pay for that. Some people might pay for it because they are environmentally conscientious. But the thing is, you're not offering a new product. You're offering an improvement on something, right? So you want to offer something that you're saying, I have this new thing. There is a cost for it, and I'm offering it to the market. Okay. Now it must solve a problem, and it has to address that problem in a new way. So when you're solving a problem, you want to you want to look at that value proposition thing. Other companies are doing this, but this is new and innovative because we're doing this. If you're saying no other company is offering this, that's not enough. Stop your line of thinking. Because what I want you to say is other companies might be offering it, but this is different because of this. Because the truth of the matter is, other companies could very easily start offering what you're offering if it's successful. And just the fact that they're not offering it doesn't make it good enough for you to start offering it. So you have to think about the innovation part of this, right? We're looking for consumer markets. It's going to be way easier and way less frustrating on you if you are addressing people instead of companies or governments, right? So if you work for Boeing, I'm sorry, and your deal is we're going to make a rocket propelled fuel jet, and the government, you don't have to be competitive there because you already have that relationship with the government. What we want to make is something that people are going to buy and not corporations. Okay, so it has to be a consumer product, not a consumable, just a consumer product to consumer markets. And it has to be difficult to imitate. When you're putting this product out, you have to be thinking, man, no other company's going to be able to do this. Not they're not doing it. It's going to be really, really tough for them to do this, and they're going to really have to worry about do they want to invest enough to do this. It's okay if someone imitates you later, but if you have such a head start on the market that once they figure it out, you already have established brand dominance, that's okay. It's okay to have competition eventually. But what you want to do is you want to set yourself apart and you want to end up in that blue water at first. If people come to you, that's fine. But that's the way that you want to approach it. Okay? So that's what we really want to focus on here. Um, you want to stay focused as you go through your paper. Remember that you want to stay focused on only what we're asking for. So I'm going to help you to do that. What you need to do next is actually locate that template, the Mod 1 blog template. I think I named it the 1.2 blog APA template or something like that. And locate that, go through it, and then you want to watch the assignment video that goes along with it. What I'm going to do in that assignment video is I'm going to go through each element of the prompt and tell you what I'm looking for and tell you some examples of how to approach it. And you will actually be setting yourself up very well if you just do that. Okay. So go through that stuff. And if you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to me. Good luck.